Hey guys, Kristen here. Today is FAQ day. I'm going to answer some of your frequently asked questions and just go through some of the popular videos about bootcamp and just answer them for you. So here we go. Okay, so first I'm going to look through my most popular video, which is 10 things I wish I knew before coding bootcamp. If you haven't seen it, I'll put the link in the description box. Wow, I can't believe how many comments are on here. 102 comments. Holy crap. Okay, let's see. How much of programming language should one know before they even attempt to apply to bootcamp? I would say you need at least a foundation of HTML, like minimum, like to understand how to change font sizes and just how to build a basic page with hyperlinks and pictures. If you don't have that, then I would say you truly don't know if you enjoy building websites yet, and you really need to prioritize that before going to bootcamp, because you could end up hating it and you just have no idea yet. You just can like the idea of doing something. For instance, I love the idea of painting and drawing, but it's not for me at all. Okay, next question. Okay, so there's an argument about coding boot camps and universities, like studying computer science in university, and I'm going to do a video on that one. That's a pretty good discussion. And let's see. I've done a lot of programming on my own, but I want more formal and structured education. I am an entrepreneur and not a job seeker, so my goal will be to develop a greater level of skill to bring my business ideas to fruition without relying on outsourcing. I'm going to spend the rest of 2016 building a strong foundation and then start applying for some boot camps. I think that's fantastic. I am also an entrepreneur, and it has been really helpful with building my website and blogs and so forth, and I highly recommend it as an entrepreneur. When you look at other businesses' websites, you can actually use developer tools to see what plugins, what types of code, even what platform they're using, and then just kind of take that idea, take whatever they're using and put it onto your own website. It's been super helpful to be able to see other people's code and take away what I want for my own personal website. So yeah, I highly recommend that. How did you know that was a good coding bootcamp / school? And what made you want to go to that bootcamp? So I actually have a video where I talk about how I chose Tech Talent South as my coding bootcamp of choice. But since we're doing FAQ, I will go ahead and say I knew it was the best bootcamp for me because I'm tired of being a guinea pig. In graduate school, I was the first cohort to go through the journalism program that had an emphasis on new media. And don't get me wrong, it was super duper cool, and I did a lot of things that other journalism and mass communication programs do not do. And it was super based on technology and social media. It was fantastic. However, there were a lot of bumps in the roads, and I had a teacher who didn't really teach me anything. So that was what I focused on. I focused on the teachers and the program, and I was trying to decide between the Iron Yard and Tech Talent South. The Iron Yard had just come to Charlotte, and so it was their first cohort, and it was the teacher's first time teaching for the Iron Yard. But on the other side for Tech Talent South, their teachers had been through boot camp. Their teachers have taught, well, I had two teachers. One of them had taught multiple cohorts before mine, and TTS has just been around for such a long time, and they have connections with employers in my city, which is really important to me. So yeah, just look at those factors. Like, I would look at how long they've been in your city and ask the teacher about their experience. Like, teaching a coding bootcamp is way different than teaching a college course, and there are some similarities, but you are teaching like super basic level. Like some people in my cohort, well not some people, a couple people in my cohort had like basic technology background, and I think that just makes a huge difference. So those are three things I prioritize, and that's what helped me make my decision to go to Tech Talent South. Next question. What language are you focused on at the moment? What languages did they cover in boot camp? Okay, so first question, what language am I focused on at the moment? Right now, I'm not quite focused on a language. I feel pretty good about HTML, CSS, very little JavaScript. Like I can use it, but I can't really build by myself with it yet. But what I'm really focused on is using other platforms like Squarespace and how to put in my own code into Squarespace. And I'm doing that because I'm a freelancer, and I've quickly learned that I need to like get these websites out really fast. And when I just use a template with all code, it's very time consuming. So I want to use Squarespace and then customize it with code. And so that's what I've been teaching myself. And you can do that, and it's amazing to have like a basic template and just like knock out an entire website in an hour, and then go back in and figure out where I want to customize it with my own code. And you can use HTML, CSS, JSON, JavaScript, I think PHP with Squarespace, don't quote me on that, but yeah, you have tons of options with that. So that's what I'm mostly learning. I'm learning a platform, so I'm focusing on learning Squarespace, but I really do want to get into more advanced JavaScript in the future. And the languages that I learned in Coding Bootcamp, we learned so much, but we mostly focus on Ruby on Rails. So Rails is the framework to create an app, and then Ruby is the actual language and that you use in the Rails app. And then you also use some HTML and CSS in it. What else did we learn? I learned Sass, I learned jQuery, I learned a little bit of SQL. Like we dabbled in a lot. Like it's nice because they give you a nice overview what everything is like, and so people quickly figured out what they like and what they don't like what you naturally are good at, which I think is really important in Coding Bootcamp. You don't want to go for what kind of job you want or what kind of I know sometimes you have this notion in your head like, oh, I'm going to be a back-end developer, I'm going to be full stack, but really you could just be a killer front-end developer, and you'll realize that in Coding Bootcamp what your strength is. And when you're getting a job or figuring out which one to do afterwards, you definitely want to stick to your strengths. So I really like that aspect of TTS. I do wish we worked with JavaScript a lot more, but I can't complain at all. Been pretty freaking happy. Okay. Question, if I have no experience, like capitalize, if I have no experience whatsoever with coding, is going to Coding Bootcamp okay? Absolutely not. I highly discourage anyone just jumping into Coding Bootcamp just because it seems like a good idea, it seems like you get paid a lot of money, and it seems fun, or it's something you tried in middle school and so you think you want to do that for a career. No, you need to have a foundation, like I said earlier, in HTML. Like you need to be able to at least build a basic website and to know what comes along with it, like the frustrations that comes with coding that every developer deals with. And yeah, that's just a bad idea. You could end up hating it. And some people do leave the class after a couple of weeks. We had one person who didn't finish with us, and she disappeared after, I believe, two weeks. And I tried reaching out to her, but I think she just had a lot of stuff going on, and who knows, maybe she was on that boat too. She probably just realized that coding wasn't for her, so don't do it. Do you need a coding background before enrolling? This is the same thing. You need the foundation. I'm not going to go into details, but you can go to Code Academy, Treehouse, Udacity. They're awesome online resources. There's one more I really freaking liked. I can't think of what it's called. Anyways, if I think of it, I'll put the link below with the others. But yeah, use free resources. You need the background. I'm not going to answer any more of those questions. Where did you get your degree before going to boot camp? Well, I just want to clarify, I don't know if people think I have a computer science degree or a information technology degree, because I do not. I have a bachelor's in exercise science, and then I have a master's degree in journalism and mass communication. And my background in coding is I learned how to code in middle school, and then when the whole online journal thing became popular, I had a live journal and I would design my layouts using the HTML, and I had no idea that was coding. I just wanted to have a really cool online journal when I was 15, and so I did that for a few years, just changing up my layout for my journal. And then in graduate school, we had to do a little bit of coding. We built an app, like we were in teams. It was a project management class, and we got into teams. And there was, a content manager, a designer, a developer, like we had those tasks. So I had to go back, like reach way far, like into my brain, and I recalled everything from that and just remembered how much I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I don't have a computer science degree, but, I don't think I answered the question. Where did I get my degree? Oh, my mistake. So I got my degree High Point University for exercise science, and then San Jose State for journalism and mass communication. So it's another question about my background of knowledge before coding. I just share that with you guys. And cool video, thanks. I'm currently teaching myself Java in order to familiarize myself with coding. Any advice on what other coding languages one should really know before starting a coding bootcamp? Honestly, I say this to a lot of people, it depends on your goals. It depends on where you want to work after you develop the skill sets that you need. So if you want to work for Microsoft or like more of the corporate stuff, like you need to know like Java, C#, and .NET. That's what I was trying to think of, .NET. And if you want to do more startups, it also depends on where you live as well. Ruby on Rails for startups. Some startups use it, some don't. React, JS stuff, and what else? Obviously JavaScript. Anything JavaScript. I feel like anything in the startup or, like one of the hip, digital marketing agencies, you should know JavaScript on top of HTML, CSS, SAS, that stuff. But again, it just really depends on your goals. And if you aren't familiar with what route you should take with your goals, please email me. I am providing free coaching this month in October, and I would love to help you and just chat for an hour about it and help you create a plan. So just email me. I'll put my email address below. It's hello@kristenleake.com. And then, so what are you doing now after coding bootcamp? Right now, I am building websites for small businesses. I also provide social media management, and it's basically managing businesses' social media accounts. So, for example, I am working with a nonprofit, and I post their Facebook posts and I schedule it for them so they don't have to think about it, and I create the content for them so they don't have to do it. I mean, they approve the content, but they don't have to look for it and write it and save the pictures and everything. That's all me. And I'm also writing. I have some ebooks in the making that I want to share with you guys to help you on your journeys. And I think that's about it. I mean, I have a lot of small projects that I'm into right now, but my income is mostly freelancing and social media management. And I think I'm going to stop it right there. A lot of these are repetitive, but I hope that helps you guys out from having to scroll and look at comments. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. like this video if you enjoyed it, and if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe, check out my other videos, and I will talk to you later. Bye.